Hello and welcome to part 1 of the 2.5k subscriber special. I recently reached 2,500 subscribers and I thought, well, Christmas is soon, 2.5k, you should do something really special. I basically asked you if you have any questions that I can answer for you. And some of those questions lead to follow-up videos, so be prepared to get huge amount of content over the holidays. If you have any other questions that you want me to answer over the holidays, just leave a comment and mark them with 2.5k question, then I know that I should prioritize them. This Q&A video is basically about my band and my music in general, and I have 4 questions that I will answer today. The first question that reached me was if I have any plans to come to the US for touring, if COVID isn't a thing anymore. And to be honest, as of right now, we don't have any plans with Nightbearer to come to the US. Maybe I'll come as an individual during my holidays, but all of us, we have jobs, 3 of us have children and wives, and I don't think we have time to really go on tour for 2, 3, 4 weeks or so. But never say never. The second question was how you could get some merch, and we have a Bandcamp shop. I leave a link in the description. You can go there and buy something. I think we have everything except vinyls. I don't think we have any vinyls left. The third question was, what is my live guitar rig with my band? And before I get a shitstorm, I know it seems like heresy, but I am a strong believer of the fact that when it sounds good, it is good. And I really like my back and my health, therefore I don't want to lift tons of equipment every time I go to a show, because I have no roadie yet. So, I'm actually changing my live rig to a even smaller setup, or maybe it's bigger, depends on the point of view, and I will definitely make a video about it. But for the current live setup, or the live setup that I had on the recent gigs in March and December, November, my pedalboard consisted of the TC Electronic Polytune tuner. This went into a Morley Maverick Mini Wah. Then I went into the Boss NS2 noise gate. In the loop was my main chainsaw, the Lone Wolf Audio Left Hand Breath. In a limited edition, it is the orange one with an added blend knob, which is now on every left hand breath. From there, I went into the amp, and for the amp, I chose the Fractal Audio XFX2. It did basically everything apart from the chainsaw distortion. It gave me my main amp sound, which was a Das Metall amp, and I could go to my Matrix power amp and into my cab, which is an Engel 4x12 with vintage 30 speakers, and I could go from the XFX2 into our in-ear monitoring mix. And as an cab IR, I think I actually had an Engel vintage 30 cab. But things are about to change, and I hope, I'm very sure actually, that my new setup is infinitely better, and I will let you know when it's finished. Now for the last question that was asked to me. Do I have any recordings from before Nightbearer or any side projects in general? Well, yes I do, and I have to tell you a bit about my musical career, but I will keep it to just the bands that I think are worth mentioning. So my very first band was called Angband, and it was basically me and some of my classmates learning how to play our instruments. Musical wise, it was, we wanted to be Opeth, but we weren't. We did 2 records, then we switched names, we called us Luthien, then we did another record. I think somewhere I have the MP3s or WAV files, but well, I don't want to listen to it anymore, and therefore you shouldn't. After Luthien, I joined Despised, and it's basically in the town where I studied, so I thought, well, why not have a local band? In Despised, I met Misha, who's the vocalist of Nightbearer and also the boss of visual arts and lyrics. And Despised was a true melodic death metal band, had some core elements, but not really. We released an album and I'm still proud of it. It has its ups and downs, its pros and cons. And I might release it on this channel for you to actually listen to it. Just have to think about it and ask some people. In Despised, I quickly became one of the main songwriters together with Misha, but right now we are inactive. So when Despised was still active, I joined the Nemesis process. I was asked if I would play the guitar and I quickly joined because I didn't have to do any songwriting or didn't have any responsibilities, and this was quite nice. We released an EP, which I also mixed and mastered. The Nemesis process was the first band where I intentionally used the HM2 sound, and I've already asked my former band members if they are okay with releasing the stuff here, and they agreed. So maybe around Christmas I have a special present for you. When I was still into the Nemesis process, I formed my own solo project. It was called Legion, and it was basically me trying to sound like Nevermore. And it was also my first songs written on a 7-string guitar. I had a full lineup and had to switch out the vocalist ones. We even played some shows, but we never got anything released. But maybe some solo material of mine will come in the future. Maybe. So I have 2 other bands that I was part of. One was a really brief time. I was the bassist of a black death metal band called Inside the Cynic, and I recorded bass for their album The Book of Murderers. You can find some songs in YouTube. I don't know if you can find the whole album. I have searched for it, I didn't find it, maybe you find it. But yeah, I just played bass on it. It had nothing to do with anything apart from playing bass. And the last band that I joined is the band where I met Manu and Umphy that are now in Nightbearer, and I basically, it was a bunch of friends and they were in urge for a new vocalist. So they asked me if I could do the job. I said, well, don't think so, but I can try. And I think I did an okay job, and I joined Hate Force 1 as a vocalist. We played some huge shows and we recorded 1 or 2 tracks. One track made it on a sampler for the German magazine Legacy, but we don't have any other recordings. And basically that's my musical background. Apart from Nightbearer, I don't have any projects band related at the moment, apart from maybe my solo project, who knows. But I've in these times I focus on doing mix jobs, and I think I've stepped up a bit. As you might know or might not know, I did the mixing for the Nightbearer record as well as the EP. And I thought, well, it was okay, but I can do better. So I studied how to mix, basically home studying. And now I step up this game a bit. I mixed and mastered 2 records for a German thrash metal band, Toxic Trap. Well, if you have a band that you want to have mixed for a reasonable price, and you like the things that I do, just let me know. We sort something out. But basically, that's what I do as of today. Nightbearer, bit of a solo project, maybe. Mix jobs. Because I'm right now focusing on my mixing skills, I made a collaboration with 3 other guys that are also doing some mixing with Nail the Mix. And we released a 4-track EP that we had to write, record and produce, mix, master in 5 weeks or so. And this project is called Aiming on Mars, and I will release the material on this channel during the holidays. And that's it for this video. Again, if you have any questions, let me know down in the comments. And as always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. May the force be with you and have a nice day.